Hey everyone, it's Kristen and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be doing a family home build. So this is going to be in the gallery, and I should mention also that the home that I built while I was away is actually now in the gallery as well. So in case you guys didn't know, the last week or probably like a week and a half worth of videos, including like here and over on my second channel, were actually all pre-recorded. So I did get back from London on Saturday evening and I was so freaking exhausted, and I kind of like, today is probably like the first day that I have actually been able to sit down and just kind of like work on other stuff. So when I got home from London, I arrived at the airport. It was probably like 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon, and then like by the time you get through like customs, and then I had like an hour, like 3 hours to drive home. So there's like no way that I was going to do like any recording. I like tried to stay awake just that I wasn't like too jet lagged, and surprisingly coming back I haven't had like any issues. I think it's because I was just so exhausted from the trip. I just like got right back into the routine of things, which is good. I was definitely freaking terrified of what was gonna happen because I actually slept in like twice. When I was in London, I was supposed to be like down in the lobby to the hotel. I think it was like 9:30. Everybody was gonna end up leaving to go to like one of the events, and I'm like, 9:30, that's like no problem. Because here I'm always awake like between 5 and 6 o'clock. Even if I don't get out of bed, I'm like awake. I'm on like social media, all of that stuff. So when I got there, I kept sleeping in. I had to get Rosa to actually wake me up. I was like, you guys, if I am not down there like 10 minutes before, like knock on my door. And of course, I freaking slept in because it is like, I don't know, 4 hours difference, and it completely messed me up. So yeah, that was a little bit of a pain, but I ended up having to, like when I first came home, I had to sit down and like edit all my footage because my laptop, it's not really working. I think it's the trackpad, so I'm gonna have to like get that fixed, but trying to save money. I kind of spent way more money in London than I should have, for sure. I mean, when we first landed, I did kind of discuss my trip with my music instructor, or like my music teacher, and she's like a world traveler. She's been everywhere. So she's like, you need to get an Oyster card. I think it's how it's pronounced, oyster, like in the ocean. But yeah, she's like, you need to get an Oyster card. It's unlimited. You can go wherever. So that was like what I had in my mind. And then when we landed, I actually met up with like 4 other simmers. So there was Julian, Ashley, Nicole. Oh my gosh. I think that might have been everybody. I might be forgetting somebody because I'm trying to think quick, but we ended up all landing within like an hour of each other. So we kind of met, and then Julian's like, oh my god, did you get your train ticket? Because we're gonna have to get a train to go like to the hotel. I was like, oh no, I never. So I went over, got help. He's like, this is what you need. The guy that's like at the airport told him how long we were there. So he's like, you just need to get this, and it was like 37 pounds or something like that. Basically double. I kind of like worked out the conversion that it's almost double Canadian. So it's like, okay, we'll get that. Then we ended up getting on the train, and the people that had like already arrived before us, they were like telling us how it's like an hour train ride or like Uber to get to the hotel. So when we got on the first train, we ended up being like, it was like a 10-minute ride. And I ended up like messaging on Twitter. I was like, oh my god, you guys, our train was only 10 minutes. Like kind of like a, oh my god, that's awesome. So yeah, anyways, come to find out, we ended up on the wrong train. They told us the wrong place to go, and then we ended up needing to go get that Oyster card. So it ended up costing like 70 pounds just to get to the hotel. But the good thing is we did end up using the train ticket because a bunch of us actually like extended our trip, because I'm thinking like, when else are we gonna be in London? So we did have like an extra 2 days, which I was freaking thrilled at, because there was actually a lot of places that we were able to go to that I have been like, they're kind of like on my bucket list. And then I was like trying to like not empty my bank account while I was there. So we ended up going to Oxford Street. Rosa had said that she really wanted to go there, and I never really knew too much about London or like the places that I wanted to go. The only place that I really had in mind was to go to Buckingham Palace, and it was a little bit like of a sentimental moment for me, and I really didn't want to make like too much of a big deal about it. Like I didn't want to get too emotional just because it was like so random. There were so many of us there. But I remember like when we were walking through, it wasn't a garden, it was just like this long pathway, and it had like all of the flags and the gate, and everybody was just like kind of like it's not a big deal. And inside I was screaming. I was like, oh my god, I've made it to Buckingham Palace. So I had so many pictures. If you guys do not follow me on Instagram, that's kind of like where I flooded out all of my pictures of my trip, because I tried to not like post too many on Twitter just because. But yeah, my Instagram is definitely flooded from like everything. And yeah, so I have so many pictures. I tried to like not post too many because I was taking pictures of like the most random things. We ended up going by the London Eye. I ended up getting like 5 or 6 keychains to go in my keychain collections. So like every time I go somewhere, I try to figure out something that I could bring home for a souvenir, because I'm a little bit of like a travel hoarder. If you guys have like anything that you collect, I know that a lot of people try to collect like snow globes and stuff like that, but I'm kind of always afraid to collect things like that just because I'm like terrified that they're gonna like break in my luggage. I wish I could, because I do think snow globes are really freaking pretty, and they have some really awesome ones. I seen one that had like the London Bridge, but I ended up getting a lot of keychains. We went to Oxford Street, and I actually went into Primark for the first time ever, and I'm completely obsessed. I kind of like want to go back to London solely to go shopping at Primark. And another thing that I have to work on is like when I'm packing to go on a trip or vacation, I need to like not pack so much just so that I actually can like bring stuff back. Because Rosa kind of made fun of me because as soon as I got to the hotel, like my luggage was full, and I'm like, I have no idea where I'm gonna put anything. I ended up even giving away like one of the sweaters that I bought, and yeah, it wouldn't fit. It was a really nice cardigan. It kind of was a little bit big though. But yeah, I kind of wish I could have bought more. I did end up getting like a London makeup holder set thing, like a little group set of bags. And what else did I get? I got like so much chocolate. I think I got like 2 packages of Heroes and some like nougat bars. We went to the grocery store. I kind of figured that would have been like the best way to go instead of going into like the specialty candy store, because when you're a tourist, you're not really sure like what is just specialty imported in and what is like from there. So yeah, we ended up going to a grocery store. I had like a full bag of just candy. They probably thought I was crazy buying like that much candy. And then what else did we do? Oh my gosh, all of the fairy lights and hanging lights that they have on their buildings in Oxford Street, and the lanterns that are like hanging across the road. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear Lily? She's like determined to get on the bed. But yeah, they had like the lanterns. We ended up going into the UK, the London UK. We ended up going into the Lush that is on Oxford Street, and I kind of died a little bit. A bunch of the others ended up getting a bunch. We actually have like a Lush here, but it was like really cool going in a 2-story Lush, and they had like certain items that were only made there. But like I said, I kind of ran out of space. I ended up also getting like some London hoodies, and we did get a bunch of stuff from the Sims event. So we did get like a t-shirt or a sweater, a water bottle, and just like a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, I kind of ended up spending a lot of my money on Ubers because we kind of like were just going everywhere. We ended up going to my first musical. I was like determined, and when you are like in the area that we were in, there is like musicals everywhere. We only seen one, but they had like Kinky Boots. They had Mamma Mia like right beside the place we were staying. I wanted to go there so bad, but nobody had seen the movies, and I'm like, how the heck have you not seen Mamma Mia? So one day I am determined to see that as a musical because I'm kind of addicted now. And they had like, yeah, Motown, they had Lion King, Tina Turner. Oh my gosh, there was like so many. They're everywhere. But we did end up going to see Wicked, and I freaking loved it. I even like teared up a little bit. So yeah, that kind of like, I ended up also getting like the little spell book that they had as like a memory, and I ended up, yeah. And of course I got a keychain. It was like the Wicked hat with like the little silver Wicked dangle off of it. So I did get a bunch of stuff, but I think like the funnest thing about the trip was just like taking the trains. And oh my god, that's another thing. When we first got off the airplane, keep in mind that we all had like a giant luggage, carry-on, and whatever else that we brought. And we ended up having to like go up and down all of those stairs because I mean, I only seen one escalator for like all of the trains that we took. We ended up having to get on like, oh my god, like 4 trains or something absolutely ridiculous. We were like totally freaking tourists, and we actually did have this one freaking nice guy. We couldn't figure out how the train paths worked. I don't know what you would call it. Yeah, so he ended up helping us, and that was like freaking good because we had no idea what we were doing. I think we were just like standing there staring at the map for like 15 minutes, and I think everybody was just kind of hoping that the next person would figure it out. But yeah, it was definitely an experience. I had a lot of fun, and one good thing about going to London, like I always felt safe, even if we had like no idea where we were or how to get where we're supposed to go. Like I always felt safe, and there were just like so many of us. We did end up getting an Airbnb, and the ceiling in the bathroom of that was like mildewed, so that was probably like the scariest was going there. It seemed to be in a little bit of like a sketchy area, but nothing got stolen, and we had a freaking good time. I have like so many other stories to tell you guys, and if you want to hear more about them, definitely let me know in the comments. I mean, I can't talk about when I almost got hit by a car. There was like so many. I ended up having to like slap the vehicle because it was supposed to be stopped, and then when it went to start again, it like backed up as like, and it wasn't just me, like I wasn't being like a, you know, a dumb tourist just like walking out in random traffic. There were like a billion people crossing the road, and of course it just happened to be me that ended up getting my knee freaking crashed into. But yeah, so if you guys want to hear more about like things that we did, and there's not really too much to talk about the event. You guys basically seen like all of the footage that we ended up capturing. Yvonne actually did do Simlish karaoke, which was freaking hilarious. He got into it. He was like really into it. And I did like post the video on Twitter when he first did that, and then I got scared that I was like not supposed to. So I ended up like deleting it immediately. I don't know, maybe I'll post it. I can't remember if I kept it on my phone or not. And then they had baby Ariel. And I'm not really too into Musical.ly, but I know she's like crazy huge. And Dylan proposed to Deli, so there was like a lot of stuff that went. So if you guys want to hear more about my trip to London, which I'm still super excited and pumped about, let me know in the comments. I also want to know what you guys collect when you take trips anywhere, because that stuff is like always interesting to me. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this autumn family home build. Make sure to give this video a very big thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. And hopefully I'm gonna see you all in my next video. Bye guys!